Bonjour.
안녕하세요.
Konnichiwa, minasan.
Kamusta?
Hello, welcome back to
Go home or go travel?
So today we're going to talk about the country of love, France.
First, let's talk about people if they know about our lovely country.
Hello, I'm Lance Ivan de la Cruz.
Hi, I'm Jair De La Cruz. Sir Ivan, if it's okay, I'm going to ask a few questions about France.
Okay.
Okay, the first question is, do you know France by any chance?
Yes, France is a country of love and it is also a country in Europe.
Okay. The second question is, have you visited the country before?
Nope. But my dream is to go in there with my family and visit the Eiffel Tower.
It's also my one of my dreams. I like to take my relationship there.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a country of love. Okay, the last question is, do you know how to speak French?
Nope, but I've known a few words in French, like oui, or bonjour, non, stuff like that.
That's great. Okay, Sir Ivan, thanks for cooperating.
Alright, thank you too.
So, good day, Mr. Socorda. Thank you so much for participating to this interview. I just have a few questions for you. So first, do you know anything about France?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Can you please elaborate your answer, or can you tell me more about it?
Okay. So France, for me, is a country of love and art. Also, it's known for how beautiful their language is, which is the French language. Also, it is known for the famous Eiffel Tower.
Okay. And for the second question, do you know how to speak French?
No, I don't know how to speak French. I only know a few words like oui or yes in French.
Okay, thank you. And for the last question, have you visited France before?
Unfortunately, no, but I'd like to go there someday.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time, Mr. Sahorda, and that's all. So France's official language is French. So it's the first language of at least 88% of their population. Most of those who speak minority languages also speak French, as the minority languages are given no legal recognition. Over 25 regional languages are spoken throughout metropolitan France, and some of these are spoken in neighboring countries such as Spain, Belgium, Switzerland, Italy. So the regional languages of France are divided into 5 language family subgroups. So these are Vasconic, Italo-Dalmatian, Gallo-Romance, Germanic, and Celtic. So the Gallo-Romance language subgroup is further divided into the largest number of regional languages and has the largest number of speakers. So north of this line is the domain of the Languedoc. These includes Franc-Comtois. It's the Romance language of the Languedoc language family spoken in the Franc-Comtois region of France. Next is the Belgian French. It is called Wallon. It differs from French in some minor points of vocabulary and pronunciations, and Picot and Galion is also included. The south is home to the Languedoc, or also called Occitan, which incorporates Provençal and Gascon, among other dialects. And I also forgot Corsican and Flamand are also both spoken in regions of France too. So those are the common languages spoken in France.
This is tradition and culture of France. France has been recognized as a center of high culture. Since the 17th century, French culture has had a significant impact in world's art, cultures, and sciences. France is particularly well known for its fashion, cuisine, art, and cinema. French culture was historically shaped by Celtic, Roman, and Germanic cultures. As these influences evolved, France became a patchwork of local communities and customs. Family. The family structure could include their extended families or nuclear families. Family is also high valued in French culture. Mealtimes are often shared with family, and extended family gatherings and meals are common over the weekend. Cuisine. Traditional French cuisine is characterized by its cheese, wines, breads, and sauces. Recently, French cuisine has shifted to reflect lighter fare rather than the more traditional heavy sauces and complicated preparations. As we all know, people love to communicate with the food. Same thing with French cuisine. Fashion. Paris is regarded as the fashion capital, and spread throughout the city are many fashion boutiques. It is home to several worldwide brands such as Louis Vuitton and Chanel. France became a major influencer in fashion, beginning with the reign of Louis XIV in 1600s. Arts. French literature, painting, and cinema are all historically significant around the world, such as Les Miserables, or artists such as Monet are some of the most recognizable in the world. French tradition and tips of traveling. First, greeting. Kissing on the left cheeks and on the right cheek is common greeting for woman to man, woman to woman, or man to woman interactions. Handshakes are common greeting for man-to-man interactions or formal setting. When getting someone's attention, start by saying bonjour madame or bonjour monsieur. Next, public behavior. Patron bag their own food at grocery stores. This behavior shows how independent and reliable they are. If you speak English, ask someone if they speak English before speaking to them in English to show respect and avoid misunderstanding. Quiet tones are expected in public. Dressing down is not common in France. As I said, they love to express themselves through fashion.
The way a French person communicates is often determined by their social status, level of education, their age, and which part of the country they were raised in. Tone and choice of words will vary among these factors. Generally, they will communicate in French, but some may use their regional dialect. The French tend to be very direct. One reason for that is the French language is quite precise. Thus, it is difficult not to be direct when using it. This direct style of communicating has often been misunderstood as rude by expatriates or tourists, especially if one is not used to politeness. This direct communication style is seen by the French as the diplomatic and polite rather than ill-intentioned. The French generally dislike public disagreements or disputes, but enjoy controlled debate. Logic will often dominate their arguments, and many French people tend to extensively analyze the matter under discussion. They may recognize something illogical said by the opposition and inform rebuttal is generally appreciated. Compliments are often appreciated, but will usually be received by a combo denial instead of a thank you. In French, there are different forms of expression that indicate the level of courtesy and formality. The polite form of speech is to address people in the formal form of you, known as vous. The informal address, known as tu, is used in a variety of contexts. Generally, it is considered disrespectful to use tu when first meeting someone, if someone is older or if someone is of higher social status. It is also common in Francophone countries. The French tend not to tell the punchline jokes. They prefer witty, satirical, and ironic humor. Humorous stories, real-life situations are appreciated as well as self-deprecating humor.
French value. The French national motto, liberty, equality, and fraternity, reflects the core values of French society. Equality and unity are the most important to the French. Liberty, equality, fraternity are often identified as the most essential to what it means to be French. For many, the value of equality and fraternity indicates that the French are unified and undivided group. The origin of the motto, liberty, equality, and fraternity, goes back to the French Revolution of 1789 and was integrated to the 1958 French Constitution. Manners, politeness, and greetings. The French are sensitive to early friendliness and lack of formality, which makes politeness an important value in French. The word bonjour is the cornerstone to politeness in France. When you enter a shop or classroom or greet someone, always ensure that you say bonjour. Otherwise, you will appear as being rude to them. The bonjour is usually followed by a handshake in a formal context, or let's be said, or a kiss on one each side of the cheeks. The kisses on the cheeks demonstrate the affection, friendship, or respect. These customs have evolved with the global pandemic and may change over time. They are nevertheless traditional ways of greeting one another and are available in the French culture, and that is the French value.
In French gestures, we have fier le baiser, where would they say a greetings or saying goodbye in a non-romantic way to your friends or family. It's an exchange kisses is perhaps essential in French. In most parts, it is touching two cheeks while kissing the air, or would they say more in an air kiss. First is you touch the right cheek, and then after the left cheek. In some religions, it takes 3 or 4 times, and in some point, men doesn't do it oftenly as women, but for the most part, children and grandparents can do it It's a French thing. Second is pof, or the garlic shrug. It's stereotypically in French. It's commonly a sign of indifference, disagreement, or would they say, it's not your fault, I don't know, I doubt it, I don't agree, I don't care. You raise your shoulders, hold up your arms and elbows with the palm facing out. Stick out your lower lip, raise your eyebrows, and say puff. For example, is puff. Third is se cierra la mano. You can call this a shaking hands, or se cierra la mano, shake hands, or the French handshake. Shaking hands is of interesting variation. A French handshake is a single downward motion, firm and brief. While friends, business associates, and co-workers shake hands when greeting and parting. Yon Diox Trios. In French, the counting system in fingers is a bit different than the US. The US starts with the index finger, and then all the way up. In French, they always use the thumb first and all the way. And that's how the French how to count in their gestures in hand. And the fifth is faire l'amour. The French pout is another also classic French gesture to show discontent, distaste, or another negative emotion. Pucker up and push the lips forward, and then squint your eyes, look bored. Viola de l'amour. This is a gesture shows up when the French have to wait for a long period of time, or they don't get their way.
And that's all for Go Home or Go Travel.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.